Yes. Hello everyone, this is D. Jinnagokari. Welcome to our chemistry channel, Chemistry Masters Academy. So in this video lecture, I am going to explain about the IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. So here what is the meaning of IUPAC? International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Okay, so here we are having general names or trivial names of organic compounds. What is the necessary of using of this IUPAC means we are having not a single or a few or hundreds of organic compounds, but we are having millions of organic compounds. So to remember the names of all that organic compounds is quite impossible. That's why we should have a systemized nomenclature. So that systemized nomenclature is given by the IUPAC. Okay. So here any IUPAC name contain three parts. So they are, the first part is root word, or word root word, and second part is suffix, and third part is prefix. Okay, so means it is in the order of IUPAC name is in the order of prefix, root word, suffix. Okay, so here first of all, what is the root word? What is root word? Okay, so here the root word gives information about the number of carbon atoms in the longest carbon chain or main carbon chain or parent carbon chain. So it gives information. It gives information. It gives information about the number of carbon atoms. About the number of carbon atoms, about the number of carbon atoms in main carbon chain. Okay, so here the general root word is the general root word is alk. Okay, so now let us see the different type of root words when we are having the different number of carbon atoms. Okay, so now the root word changes according to number of carbon atoms in the main carbon chain. Okay, so number of carbon atoms and root word, number of carbon atoms and root word. Okay, so here number of carbon atoms, let us consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. Okay, etc. So here if only one carbon is present in the longest carbon chain, so here what is the root word here we use? We use the root word meth. Okay, what is the root word for the only one carbon? That is meth. If two carbons are there, we use the root word eth. If three carbon atoms are there, we use pro. If four carbon atoms are present, we use but. If five carbon atoms are present, we use pent. If six carbons are there, hex. Seven carbon atoms are there, hept. 8 carbons are present, oct. 9 carbon atoms are present, non. 10 carbon atoms are present, dic. 11 carbon atoms are present, undic. 12 carbon atoms are present. Dodec. So generally in JEE mains or NEET, they will never ask more than 12 carbon atoms. Okay, you just remember up to 12 carbon atoms. If only one carbon atom is present, meth, two carbons are present, eth, three carbons are present, prop, four carbon atoms are present, but, five pent, six hex, seven hept, eight oct, nine non, 10 dec, 11 undec, 12 dodec. Okay, so this is about the root words. Next, suffix. Suffix. So here what is the suffix? Suffix means the word which we write after the root word, or the name which we write after the root word, that is called suffix. Okay, here suffix is two types, that is primary suffix and primary suffix and secondary suffix. Primary suffix and secondary suffix, which means here suffixes are two types. Okay, suffix. So here suffix is two types, that is primary suffix and secondary suffix. Primary suffix and secondary suffix. So here primary suffix, it gives information about whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. Okay, so here it gives the information about the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. Saturated, for if it is saturated means, so what is a saturated hydrocarbon means, in between carbon and carbon only single bond should present, then it is a saturated hydrocarbon. When we are having only single bonds in the carbon, between the carbon and carbon in the main carbon chain, we use primary suffix as N. And whenever the carbon compound is unsaturated means it may have carbon carbon, in between carbon carbon double bond, or it may have carbon carbon triple bond. So when we are having carbon carbon double bond, so now we use ene, and when we are having triple bond we use ine. Okay, next secondary suffix. Come to the secondary suffix. Secondary suffix, it gives information about the functional group. It gives information. It gives information about the functional group. Information about the functional group. About functional group. About functional group. So here what is the functional group means? The most reactive part of the organic compound is called functional group, or the chemical properties depends only on the atom or group of atoms, so that is called functional group. Okay, see, we are having different type of functional group. For example, alcohol is functional group, so it is represented with OH. And here what is the secondary suffix we use? Okay, so let us take some examples of secondary suffixes. Okay, name of functional group, name of functional group, structure, and structure, structure and secondary suffix. Okay, for only few functional groups I am going to take here. Later I will discuss entire functional groups. For example, alcohol. Alcohol. What is the structure of alcohol? OH. Secondary suffix is ol. Aldehyde. Aldehyde. CHO or C double bond OH. All. Next, ketone. Ketone. C double bond O. So here we use on. Carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. COOH or C double bond OH. Okay, don't get confused. Here we use oic acid. Likewise, we are having different type of functional groups and different type of secondary suffixes. Okay, next part of the IUPAC name is what? Prefix. So here what is the prefix? What is a prefix? So the name which we write before the root word, that is called a prefix. So here prefixes are also two types, that is primary prefix and secondary prefix. Okay, so your primary prefix gives information about nature of carbon chain. It gives information about nature of carbon chain, about nature of carbon chain, whether it is open chain, open or cyclic or bicyclo, or spiro. Okay, so open chain, no primary prefix. For open chain compounds we are not going to use any primary prefix. Cyclic compounds we use cyclo. Closed chains are called cyclo. Bicyclic compounds we use bicyclo. So what is a bicyclo? Means if two rings are joined with two or more than common carbon atoms. See here, these are the common carbon atoms. So here two common carbon atoms are there. Two or more than two common carbon atoms are present. That is called bicyclic compound. Next, spiro. In case of spiro, we use spiro itself. Spiro compound means two cyclic rings are having only one common carbon atom. Two cyclic rings are having only one common carbon atom. Such type of compounds are called spiro compounds. Next, secondary prefix. Secondary prefix, it gives information about substituent. It gives information about substituent. Okay, so here what is a substituent? Means which is not present in the main carbon chain and also functional group, which is connected to the carbon chain, main carbon chain, but that are not included in the main carbon chain. Okay, so here for example, alkanes are substituents. They are known as what? Alkyl. If alkane is substituent, what is the secondary prefix we use? Alkyl. For example, CH4 is methane. So here we are removing one hydrogen and we are removing N and we are adding IL. Okay. So now what is the secondary suffix here we use? Methyl. Next, likewise, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, like that we use secondary prefix. Next, you put now halogens. Halogens. Halogens are substituents like chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, etc. We use halo. For example, chlorine is there. Chloro. Bromine is a substituent. Bromo. Iodine is a substituent. Iodo. Likewise, we use the secondary prefixes. If OH is substituent, OH is substituent, we use hydroxy. Hydroxy. Likewise, we use the secondary prefixes. So this is the total structure of IUPAC. So what is the total structure of IUPAC here? The total structure of IUPAC here, it is in the order of secondary prefix plus primary prefix plus root word plus primary suffix plus secondary suffix. Okay. So this is the total basic structure of IUPAC. So now let us take one example. Let us take one example to include all this. Okay. So now here I am going to take one cyclic ring and here bromine is a substituent and OH I am taking as the functional group. Okay. So now count number of carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total number of carbon atoms are 6 carbon atoms are there. So what is the root word here? Root word is hex. Root word is hex. And what is the primary suffix? Is there any carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond? There is no carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond. That's why it is a saturated N plus secondary suffix. Here what is the functional group? OH. OH is the functional group. So when OH is the functional group, we use ol. Next, primary prefix. It is cyclic compounds. That's why we use primary prefix as a cyclo. Next, secondary prefix. It gives information about the substituent. Bromine. So what is the position of substituent? Fourth. 4 bromo. 4 bromo. Cyclohexane ol. Whenever we are having AEIOU. AEIOU also. So whenever we are having AEIOU, it means vowels are in adjacent position. The first vowel should cut. Okay, so we should cut the first vowel here. So now the total name is 4 bromo. 4 bromo cyclo. 4 bromo cyclo hexane ol. So this is the complete IUPAC name of this compound. Okay. So this is the, in this way we are going to write the IUPAC names. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next video I will explain about the how to give the IUPAC names of aliphatic hydrocarbons with simple substituents. Okay. Thank you.